The lesser you know about life and success and money and luxury, the happier you are. This is the biggest confusion and the biggest puzzle. A lot of people still can't figure it out. When you see the documentary, somebody goes to some country where people are living on like $5 a week or like $10 a month, and they're like dirt poor and they don't have electricity, they don't have hot water, they don't have indoor bathroom or restroom, and these people are so freaking happy. Everyone's like puzzled. Why these people are so happy, right? They have a hard life. They have to struggle physically, have to struggle mentally. But these people are so happy. They're so welcoming. You know, when they see visitors, they welcome. They don't have any food, but they share whatever they have. They don't have any water, but they're gonna go out. They're gonna put the work, physical, whatever. They're gonna pull out the water. They're gonna filter the water, and they're gonna share the water with you. So, how on earth these people are so happy? They're happy because they don't know what's going on around the world. They're not distracted by all the other stuff happening online. And this is the debate I had with a lot of my friends who are actually much more wealthier and successful than me. We were debating why people, in fact, in real life, were much more successful slash much more happier during the communist regime, right? Why these people were so happy when they didn't have enough food? They would have to line up outside waiting for bread, waiting for groceries, limitations of fruits and veggies if some imported that is not growing in their own countries, right? Why people were happier during these times? Well, people were happier because everyone was equal, everyone was the same. No one else was richer. All the men were almost the same. No one was having, Lamborghinis, whatever expensive cars. There was no competition within the men's society, right? The women's were all also looking almost the same. There was no competition within the women's. So people were just choosing their partner based on the way they look. Or it has to be a nice person, it has to be a good person, it has to be, person who is hard worker, and it has to be whatever, same things like loyalty, whatever, right? Life was very predictable. People were getting married at the ages of 18, 19, 20. People were having kids at the age of 21, 22, 23. People have bigger families, people were happier, less stressed. No one was picking up the internet, what's going on around the world. No one actually knew if there was a war erupting in Zanzibar or another part of the world was an earthquake and there is a tornado and there is a snowstorm in Moscow. No one knew about this, right? People were listening to the radios, and even people who had the radios, they were working all day, like outside on the open land. They were having farms. You don't have so much time spending scrolling on the radio, right? So this is the cost of distraction in the social media and the internet. A lot of people still cannot really understand the damages that are coming from the social media. It's completely brainwash mechanism. And of course, I'm probably the last person who will be believing or creating a conspiracy theory, but this is the math that no one actually can do appropriately. Just think about it. Why next time when you watch a documentary about people visiting the slums in India, when you're visiting the people who, let's say the people who are living, I don't know, in some of these remote islands in Pacific Ocean, when people visiting some of the tribes, when people visiting people who live up in the mountains where you have the Kashmir, the Silk Road, right? The people who live in Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, all these countries, like, why people are so happy? They don't have much. They don't have much, right? But they're so happy. There's nothing to worry about, nothing to be bothered about. This is the secret that a lot of people still don't understand. That if you want to really enjoy your time and focus on the good things in life, you have to leave all the distraction from social media. Because the consumption, people think that they consume internet. People think that they consume information on the internet. People think that they're getting smarter and more educated watching information on the internet, which is actually completely opposite. You're not consuming information in the internet. Internet consumes you as a user. Just think about it, right? Why, after watching or scrolling, let's say 30-40 minutes, why you don't feel smarter? Why you don't genuinely feel anything genuine as a feeling? You just kill this part of the time, and now it's time to do something else, whatever. Make your lunch, make your dinner, go out to walk the dog or whatever. You don't have a actual memory of this time spent scrolling, because there's no genuine emotion. You don't trigger any emotions, you don't trigger any dopamine, you don't get genuinely happy. You might laugh on some stupid jokes, but you already forgot what was the joke, because it didn't make you to feel, or didn't trigger any genuine human emotions or interactions. Right? It didn't build a memory, because everything is like a chain reaction. Think about why people still remember when they went on vacation with their parents when they were kids, or when they remember when they were on visiting their cousins in other cities or other part of the country for a birthday of other kid. They still remember this because this create a genuine emotion. And this emotion was labeled, was marked with a memory. This is something that the social media cannot replicate. The social media cannot actually force you to remember anything because it cannot create a genuine emotion. It's funny, some of the clips, some of the jokes, some of the creators are genuinely funny. But if you ask me, what was the last 5 clips I watched and I genuinely laugh, I cannot give you that. I cannot give you this answer because they didn't create a genuine emotion. They didn't create anything that you can label and you can mark with a memory. This is why these people, when you visit, outside the big cities, outside of developed economies, outside of the developed areas, right? Their life is simple. They don't have nothing to look forward. They don't have nothing to compare with or compare from. There is no competition, genuine competition. They don't see anything that they want to have in their lives. So people these days, everything that they see, you open whatever platform and there's ad for something, people say, I want this. People see this watch, I want this watch. People see this whatever. People see this apartment with this view, oh, I want to live there, right? People start wanting everything, right? And when you want everything, you genuinely not sure what you really want or what you really need in your life. This is where the greed is good quote actually comes to fill the gap perfectly. People have so much stuff. Just remember the old episodes of what was MTV Cribs, when MTV goes to the houses of very, very, very rich Hollywood stars, successful singers, whatever, and they have like a huge room filled up to the roof with shoes, and they said, I've never wear this. I use these 2 pairs of sneakers every single day, and that's about it. Which basically means you don't really need them. Sure, if you're a reseller, if you're an investor, if you have something to do with other pairs, sure, you can keep them, you can store them, you can do something with them. But just for the sake of owning something that you don't really have used, or you didn't want it, you didn't need it, and if you didn't see an ad commercial for this pair, for this pair, for this pair, you didn't see that they sell them in this color, this color, this color, you're not going to order all of the colors, all of the pairs, right? Same thing. So effectively, before the social media, the advertisements played the same key role. No one knew that there is a Mercedes convertible that is coming on the market in 1980s. If you didn't know that there's a Mercedes convertible coming in 1980s, you're not going to order one. You're not going to want one. But when people see things on the screen being sold on the TV in 1980s, or heard something on the radio and then see a magazine, or look at this new Mercedes, it's coming in October, I want one, it looks good. You only want stuff when you see them. This is why the social media is helping you see a lot of things, so then later you want them. Because most people are not, wealthy, they don't have so much disposable income. It forces them to work, find money to buy this stuff. When they buy this stuff, they just put them aside, and after a while they just sell them. This is how stupid the whole situation with thinking that you want something that you actually don't. So don't fall under the same trap a lot of people are falling. Just think about time spent equals real emotions. Can you actually make the connection? Or if not, you know exactly what you have to do, right?